Well, what seemed like a routine call ended up changing a Kingman police officer's life forever, and it ended up giving one little girl a safe place to call home. Nick Saletti has more on this heartwarming story this morning.
And I recognized her injuries and what they meant and the abuse that she suffered in different stages. So I know something wasn't right.
Kick.
Lieutenant Brian Zach describing the day he met little Kyla.
You're going higher.
He was called to a home to assist another officer with a case when they found the little girl seriously hurt. Lieutenant Zach says he took Kyla back to the Kingman Police Department where she would be safe. They ended up spending nearly 5 hours together.
She didn't talk a whole lot. She mostly grunted and pointed at things. We watched movies. We played games. I tried making it as fun as possible for her. And then DCS responded and took her to the hospital.
Lieutenant Zach says he couldn't get little Kyla off of his mind.
I came home, told my wife the story about this little girl that I just bonded with and would love to bring her home. And in the past 15 years, I've said that many times to my wife of some kid that I met that I would love to bring home and love and take care of. So it was nothing new for her.
But this time was different.
I called the DCS worker and got an update on Kyla and found out that she was transported to Vegas and got an update on her injuries and that she would be in Vegas for a little bit. So I asked if I could be on the list to see her, because I know in child abuse cases, the hospital's pretty much on a lockdown. So they put me on the list.
Which way?
This way.
Then Lieutenant Zach got the call that would change his life and Kyla's life forever. DCS asking if he would be willing to take Kyla into his home for a couple of weeks. The father of two teens sat down with his family to discuss the idea of placement.
So we had a family meeting and I showed them a picture of Kyla and said, this little girl may need to come to our house for some love and care for a little bit. We don't know how long, but it could be a couple weeks, a month or so. And we just want to provide her a loving home. And everyone was on board.
After getting approval from his bosses, Lieutenant Zach says Kyla was at his home in just a few days. His family worked quickly to make sure she felt welcomed, buying her new clothes and even a bed of her own.
And we walked inside the house and we sat down, and I know she liked Wreck-It Ralph, so we put Wreck-It Ralph on. And she sat on the couch and she just grabbed my hand, put it in her lap, and she started petting my hand. Maybe it was my intuition or just my own thinking. I think she felt safe.
Kyla's case went from placement to adoption. The Zacks deciding to permanently make her part of the family. 2.5 years later, Lieutenant Zach says Kyla is thriving.
So she loves school, and I just can't wait to see how much more she can do in her life, given some opportunities that she may never have had. And to me, that's worthwhile, and it makes me feel really good to be part of the process. And I hope others can learn from that and experience it as well.
In Arizona, there are currently more than 14,000 children in foster care. Roughly 1,500 of those kids are living in group homes. Katie Hernandez with Arizona's Children Association says the need for foster parents is great.
Every single day, especially during the pandemic that we're in right now, that are being removed, and it's very limited homes. There's not enough homes for all the kids that are in care right now. So it's very important.
While being a foster parent comes with challenges, Hernandez says stepping into the role is rewarding.
Just being able to see a child flourish, being placed into your home after you've worked with them, you're being consistent with them, you're being patient with them, you're giving them the love and patience and stability that they've never received before in their life. Just being able to see, the establishment of them throughout their life, from being placed in your home and even like a month later, it's just amazing to know that you were able to provide that for a child.
The slide or the swings?
It's a role that Lieutenant Zach is considering possibly doing again in the future, to bring another child who needs love into his home after the joy that Kyla has brought to his family.
Straight.
She's definitely thrived and she's come into her own. She's always been instantly a part of our family and taken in very well. And I just want to see her succeed in life and hope she has better opportunities and chances now.
Got it? All right, go.
Nick Saletti, ABC 15, Arizona.
And again, that was Nick Saletti in collaboration with producer Kaylee Latham, bringing that amazing story to us this morning. So if you're not sure if maybe adoption is the right thing for you, or maybe even fostering, if you're not sure if either of those are the right thing for you, there are other ways that you can help out too. Arizona's Children Association tells us that mentors, volunteers, and donations are always needed.